How is everybody? It's the Loopy hours. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You know.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. Just played some ball. Just played some football. There was a play where I was playing cornerback. It was a deep play, and I followed the guy. I was trying to make a play on the ball. The ball was thrown short, so the receiver came back to it where I was. I got a hand on the ball, but the thing is, when he was coming back, he fell. So I'm running, eyes on the ball, and he is falling right under my feet. So basically, took my legs out, and I flipped over basically, and I landed basically on my head slash back, like
Ooh.
kind of just boom thudded. And here's the thing:
So he
I
was
heard
under
a
your
noise.
feet first. You were up and he was under your feet, right?
So yeah, so he was behind me, and I was like trying to make a play on the ball in front of him, trying to cut it off. But the thing is, the ball was short, so he was actually further. He came in back to get the ball, but in his coming back, he fell. So he was now behind me, but basically on the ground where my feet were running backwards to.
Oh.
So and it was like all in one motion too. So basically wiped me out, and I like kind of flipped. I didn't flip fully, but landed like back and like head, neck at the same time, shoulder,
Just kind of.
head.
Yeah, and did
All at the
your
same-
legs come up when like
Yeah,
you folded
yeah.
a little bit like a lawn
I-
chair?
Well, yeah, it's like when it's almost as if he was doing that thing that people would do where they would like tabletop. So someone would like go behind someone and like kind of. I mean,
He got you.
by the way, we should bring that back. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
tabletopping is fun. I don't know why we stopped doing that.
Yeah,
I
like,
feared for my life.
I mean, look, you have to be careful. Like, you don't do it to someone who's like frail looking. Like, some people are just not built like so sturdy, so you can't really do it to them. But it's like if you know that your friend is like built pretty, he can take a fall. Go in tabletop. I mean,
Come
bring
on.
bring back the tabletop. That should be something that's something I'm pushing for. But situational tabletop, and then you can't be that guy who's doing it all the time. It's got to be like once a year.
Bring back the tabletop, but BBTT responsibly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go as far as to say once a year, like maybe you get in a second one if like if someone tabletops you, then it's like fair game for the rest of the day, where like you can definitely get them back even if you've done one to them.
That year.
Yeah, so let's say like that.
Well, and there's a tradition in the sitcom How I Met Your Mother. It's called Slapsgiving. I see something similar to Tabletops Giving, where it's like once a year, everybody can go for it, and it depends if you pick real Thanksgiving or not Thanksgiving, but I think as a friend group that could be a fun tradition.
So I'm thinking that tabletop day is more of a summer thing.
Oh, summer
Because
thing at a
honestly, the best
barbecue
place to tabletop is in
in
the
the
grass,
grass.
right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you don't want to tabletop someone indoors, right? Like really,
I
there's
remember kids
like,
getting
it's just-
tabletopped in school onto
Yeah, with those fucking
concrete.
tile floors, like yeah, and concrete, and just, like it feels like that's something maybe
in
we
gym
shouldn't
class.
bring back.
Yeah, don't bring that back. I remember kids getting seriously injured. It became like a school felony at my
Yeah,
school.
hardwood. Well, it's a guaranteed skinned elbow because you're not like
Definitely.
you don't have time to like get yourself like protect yourself, so something's hitting the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, when I say bring tabletops back, I want to make it clear that like it's situational tabletopping. You got to make sure that you're not going to fuck someone up and break their wrist. But on the grass and it's a sturdy person that you think they can handle it, like I'm thinking like Memorial Day, July 4th. No, it's July 4th. That's
4th.
really
It's
Independence
it's a
Day.
freedom act.
It's freedom. As the fireworks show is going, you say, "Hey, bro, yo, you come here a second?" And then someone goes right behind him.
Mhm.
You give him a little push. Bam. You know what I love about
Into
the
the
tabletop?
pool,
it's a
maybe?
two-man effort.
it's a tag team effort.
It's a
Yeah,
tag team,
it's a
and you know
tag
what?
team move essentially. It's like a
There's something about
WWE.
the that I think we could, we could gain by bringing that back. Is people working together, and I think that and I like what you said, by the way, about the pool. That seems like maybe the best way to do it.
But I was worried about people hitting their head. It's
Always,
it's
always,
kind of.
yeah. But let's say you're on the deep end.
Hmm.
I would say you could like that's what I mean situationally. It's got to be someone that though they're gonna be pissed off, it's not gonna be like so bad. Like they
Jack
can
Evans.
handle it.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, a
a
dude,
good friend of yours that's just a lanky, but not frail, just and
Yeah.
jovial of the
It's
jovial sort.
important, by the way. I can't
It's
stress it enough. There are certain people that are just frail that, like, if they fall down, something bad's gonna happen. You really got to be careful about that. But into the pool, into the deep end, I say bring it back, July 4th.
tabletops giving.
Yeah, table. I mean, shit. In Britain, I'm sure that there's laws against tabletopping, and I think that that's part of
Probably.
the reason that we have worked for our independence is to get away from those types of laws. So I think that there's nothing more American than a tabletop.
Let me tell you something, brother. As a union, we need tabletopping more than ever. Let me tell you, I've been a member of this here union for years, if not decades, and I could tell you one thing that tabletopping every time, whether it be with a friend, with an acquaintance, with a peer, with someone who you're close to, with someone who you're not close to, it'll bring you together like no other. Let me tell you something, boy.
I mean, it's in the word union, you know? Two people coming together to push someone over, you know?
There's nothing like a good tabletopping because it does remind me of a little wrestling move, a little wrestling move. A
And what's more
WWE
American than
wrestling.
wrestling?
Nothing,
Very
nothing I
few
can
things
think
more
of.
American than wrestling on 4th of July.
Nothing I can think of, and it's cool because it's like a finisher move.
It really is.
No, it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna start the petition, bring it back.
Yep, it'll be back.
But we gotta like I gotta like set a reminder for like July 1st. Like, hey, get the word out because I'm gonna forget otherwise.
What I like
But
about this. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna finish my football story, but we're still on the
Well,
tabletop stuff.
no, to segue to your football story, I like that you said bring it back after getting essentially tabletopped, by
It is
gravity and
pretty
your
much what
and your
happened.
opponent.
Yeah, and also I was running backwards and he was running forward, so it was a very hard fall. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could envision that it was like not just a table, like you know, tabletop responsibly means don't have a running start, right?
In
Like
either
that's-
direction.
in either
In either
direction. Like,
direction, yes.
yeah, no, it's honestly not. It's not fair to tabletop that way. But on the field, shit happens. He fell. It's not his fault. But I fell. I mean, the shit hurt like hell. But really, what was concerning was I heard a crack, like, like I heard a crack that I was like something just broke. But I don't know what happened.
Oy,
Like
ay,
I don't know
ay.
what it is, and I'm just hoping that it's like not like I'm just saying like as long as it's not my back, my neck, I can come back from that. But I think I went off. I mean, it hurt like hell. I ran off the field just to make sure that I was not broken, and I ended up coming back maybe like a drive later because it was starting to feel better. I could tell like, oh, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow, but this
Hmm.
is not anything crazy that I can't play. But what I think happened is that my neck cracked as if I was just cracking my neck. On
Whoa.
impact, it kind of just cracked. Like it was
Like a
like, you know
knuckle.
what? Yeah, kind of like shit. And I gotta say right now, my neck is feeling pretty damn good. So, I mean, I think I got like the best neck crack possible. Of course, it is a little scary, but I gotta say, I feel pretty good in that region right now.
Let me tell you something, boy. Let me tell you something, brother. So, I think that you just experienced the greatest American chiropractor that there ever was, will be, and is, which is football. You know what I'm
The
saying?
ground and gravity working together to to give me
In a
the
beautiful
best
symphony.
chiropractor. And I'll tell you what, it was free too.
Damn straight it was.
That's not, that's like that's the shit. Like you you know how they have those WikiHow articles, right? And it's like they're just so useless.
Yo, they're
And
crazy.
I feel like you could write a WikiHow article that's like how to get the benefits of going to a chiropractor when you're broke. And it's like, okay,
Yo,
stand on a platform. Now jump head first onto the ground, angling your neck in a way
slightly.
that beware. If you go too far, if you angle your neck too far one way, you could die.
You're gonna die.
But I mean, it's worth the payoff though when you really get that fine crack. And this was not a regular crack. Like it's kind of like you would crack it, but the noise and really the relief that I have right now, I feel the mobility. Now tomorrow I'm gonna wake up feeling like ass. I know that, but I gotta say that was a real crack. That's, you know what it was. It's like those chiropractors. You ever seen those chiropractors? Where it's like seen these YouTube clips where
Yep.
it's like they're like, it's like, okay, that can't be good for you. But I mean, they got repeat customers, so maybe maybe there's
That's what
something
you
to
went
it.
through. I know. I've seen those. That shit is amazing.
I mean, that shit kind of freaks me out. I can't really watch it,
Me
but I
neither.
have seen it.
I've seen
Like,
it
I can't see.
unconsentingly.
Yeah, exactly. You know what else kind of is like that? Like, I feel like people like that shit. Like, there's compilations of it on YouTube, but
Yep.
like, I can't fuck with it. It kind of freaks me out.
Me
Gives me
too.
kind of the creeps a little bit.
Me too.
And you know what? It's the same way for me is like pimple popping. I will never
I
understand it.
can't, bro. I can't. Thank you, bro. I cannot. I can't watch pimple popping. I can't watch like feet, like fixing feet. My feet are killing me as a show. That shit's
Yeah, like
fucked up.
mangled shit where they're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I can't
Oh,
do
like
it, bro.
bunions and shit.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
know what you.
god. And
No, it's
all of
terrible.
the like plastic surgery shows where they'll just show someone with their face like cut up like off and like lifted, you know, and you're just like, how is this on national television?
Yeah, and it's like Doctor Pimple Popper. You know, I mean that show ran. I don't know if it's still going, but that
It's
show was
still going.
running. Like
It's still going.
people were watching it, and I looked into it one time. Like, how is this a thing? And it's like apparently there's a section of people that feels like relief from that shit, like where like you're popping a pimple and shit. But I just gotta say that this is what TV and media can do. The mainstream media can
Brother.
do is that yes, there is an audience for this, but I gotta think that it's not like a 50-50 thing. I gotta think this is kind of a niche thing. I have to believe that because of how off-putting it is to me. I'm interested because I mean I guess I have met people that have said that they know they kind of get why people like it, that they kind of like they don't have the same reaction as me where I'm kind of like off put. Not that they were like fans of it, but like they kind of uh like could like they got the same relief in some ways maybe. But I don't understand
My
it.
mom
Now I'll
watches the
say if you
show,
pop your
bro.
own pimple, I get it. Like if you enjoy popping a pimple successfully, like a clean pop, I'll say I can
See,
get some
that's the
enjoyment
thing.
from
I
that just
can
in
I don't mind it myself, you know? Like but
right.
like I don't get it doesn't click with me. I get why it clicks,
No,
but I you
but
know,
I'll say this: it's not just like a little pimple that you might pop in your
no.
mirror on your face.
No.
These are massive cysts,
Massive
like growing on their
cysts.
shoulders, like, and it's like a second shoulder
Oh,
that's
bro.
just full of pus. It's like,
Yeah.
how are you watching this on TV? There's gotta be something else
So you
on.
could find. I know. God forbid you
I'll never
record
get
it.
it.
And bro, I understand why people watch it, but I just myself, I like I can't stand to be close to the footage of that shit. Like I get
To be honest, it makes
ugh,
me uneasy.
yes, totally.
Yeah.
But it is funny that it exists, ain't it?
It's crazy. I mean, I guess there's enough people that show
There
ran. I mean,
is.
that show ran
It
for years.
runs. It still is. I'm running. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
that's what I was about to say. I think it might be running, which is a good run for Dr. Pimple Popper.
I mean, come on. Let's see. Dr. Pimple Popper show. 2018, 8 seasons. Let's see. Is it still running? Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Still running. Wednesday. Season 8, episode 18 will air.
Wow.
So, there you go.
Like, like is that something like you go on their websites like you can buy merch like what?
Um,
Like there's a fan club like
I'm gonna
like
look,
I don't get it.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look up
get it.
Dr. Pimple Popper merch. I don't know what I'm expecting. All right, so okay, they have an official shop.
I mean, you got to monetize, dude.
They did monetize.
Got to merchandise.
They merchandised and monetized. Yeah, I'd rather be watching Dr. Pimple Popper. Here, let me pull up my screen.
That's already so good.
It's we're going in. We're going in. All right. So, we got Dr. Pimple Popper. Oh jeez. All right. Let's click on this bad boy and just bring something up close that we can look at. Oh man. Oh Jesus Christ, dog. I got something good.
You should not be putting this on your kid.
Bro.
I'm sorry. You got to let your kid have their own things. You can't
What
be
the
throwing a
fuck,
Pimple Popper
dog?
shirt on your kid.
What the fuck, dog? Ah, jeez, bro. This is no bueno. No bueno at all.
I don't like that. I mean, imagine. Yeah, that's tough.
Bro, no, not no.
It
This is
doesn't feel right.
horrible, bro. This is no good at all.
The scary thing is, I can see like a mom obsessed with it, like
Ay.
making their kid watch it, making their daughter watch it, and then getting them the shirt for their birthday. And it's like you are now a fan of Dr. Pimple Popper. I mean,
You now would rather be watching Dr. Pimple Popper than anything. You now.
it's like, can we put on like Cartoon Network or something for this kid? Like, can we not have her watching the Dr. Pimple Popper every night? Like, it just doesn't feel right to me.
Something
Yeah, put on some PBS.
educational.
PBS Kids, yeah.
A radio
Oh, God.
program. Some.
It's like you're getting ready for the first day of school, and then some mom is putting this on her kid. It just doesn't feel right.
And a pair of like a big pair of Air Jordans. Got my kid dripped out. Dr. Pimple Popper.
I mean, that's
To match too. They're
I mean-
blue like that. Ay,
yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, I will say that
I'm
you got the Air Jordans
I
with
feel uncomfortable.
like I think the Air Jordans kind of play like to me.
I'm gonna take that one down. Feel completely uncomfortable with the Dr. Pimple Popper merch. The Air Jordans to
The
you.
difference dressing your kid in Air Jordans and the Dr. Pimple Popper shirt.
Absolutely.
The Air Jordans is like this is I'm giving you a style like but this is still within the realm of clothing, right? It's like if you give your kid a cool looking shirt, that's cool in the realm of clothing. You're not putting a billboard for Dr. Pimple Popper on them. Like that to me is like, and you know that kid is being subject to Dr. Pimple Popper at home. It's really kind of it's concerning, and as a teacher, I would be concerned for
I
what
would
this kid
write
is
a
going
letter
home to.
home. I would write a letter home.
Yeah. Now I,
Oh
I also
man.
saw. I happened to see when you had it up. Um, I've got 99 problems, but a pimple ain't one.
Oh
I
no.
yeah, I saw that. It's I guess like
Just strange.
it's just weird and
That's just. Oh man.
but truthfully like that's the thing. It's like that show is not like teaching you how to like deal with pimples. It's like showing you the most crazy extreme pimple cysts that and like I almost would get it if it was like a skincare show, but it's not. It's like calling Maury a dating show
Therapy
or
show.
a relationship
Yeah.
therapy show.
Yeah. Like it is to me. It's like the 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 just the it, they do apparently sell pimple popping stuff. I saw some medical supplies looking stuff on their merchandise website. But the idea of putting your kid in it or just it's a weird thing to merchandise, but you make sense,
Well,
you know.
but that's the thing. You
Got to
have to
make that
merchandise.
breach.
If you have fans, you have
Oh
to at
yeah.
least throw something up,
Oh yeah.
right? Like you just have to throw something up there because someone it might buy it. Like
Someone might just be wearing the I got 99 pimples but a problem ain't one shirt.
but also like is that like I guess that's allowed? Like you can just like I guess that's allowed. Like that doesn't fall under copyright at
Right
all.
though? But like
I don't
does it
know.
though? Like
I don't
it's
know.
a big name. It's not like just some small
Like you've got the Led Zeppelin shirt on. Could I do like Led Pimplin?
let
Stairway to Pimples or something like is that allowed? I think with merch though, it's a very you can really get away with
Oh
anything.
yeah. Like look at Supreme, you know, look at companies that like make parodies. There's a parody law, you know. But
Yeah. I mean,
it's
it's
interesting.
allowed legally, but it's not allowed just like morally, I think, in terms of now it would be not to say that you can't take someone else's thing and play off of it, but for them to do it, I'm saying is just on a human level doesn't feel right with me.
Are you talking about Dr. Pimple Popper or Supreme?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I pretty much say that about almost everything they do. So maybe I'm not the one to be judging
It's true.
them
We're a
because
little
my judgment is
biased.
clear. Yeah, my judgment is clear
You
that
know, if
no.
anyone wants to call in, we'll set something up. Defend Dr. Pimple
Yeah, yeah. If
Popper.
you
That's
enjoy
fine.
that stuff, if you're on like if like your side of TikTok or Instagram is like just pimples being popped and chiropractors cracking necks off, call in and tell us why you like it. I mean, I am curious because it is so not my thing, but it's so clearly some people's thing that I am kind of curious. I know that there is something to it because the show has been on for 8 seasons running, right?
Yeah,
So
8 seasons
clearly it's
still.
something to it.
Yeah. I
And
please.
I read you something that I wrote um not sure when, but I don't remember if I was just waking up from in the morning, if I was like half asleep, like fall. I think I was falling asleep. You know, like when you're kind of in that. It's really the loopy hour
It's
itself is when
true.
you're like kind of already asleep, but you're still kind of conscious, but you know that you can be asleep at any second. And I was thinking of this. I remember I was like doing kind of a sketch in my head. And I guess at the time I thought it was good enough to write down. So I'm going to read you my notes on this sketch here. And I
Let's do
want
it.
you to tell me if this plays in any way.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to read you what I wrote, but I'm also going to it's very shorthand. So I'm going to have to kind of give you a little bit of it
All right.
more than just what I wrote.
Cool.
So it's titled Okay Me Okay. So I phrase keep saying it. So it's a guy who keeps saying okay me okay. So essentially someone's asking someone's questions, let's say, and he keeps answering with okay me okay. to very repetitive. Very, he keeps doing it, and the reaction is not. It's the first time maybe no one says it, no one thinks anything of it, but it's just getting like he keeps doing it, and it's not hitting at all,
Mm-hmm.
and so no one's really liking it. So the people there, they say, dude, you gotta stop, and he keeps and he answers them, okay, me okay. I say, can you please stop? And he's still doing it, and they're asking, why aren't you stopping? And he's answering the questions. It's basically the repetition of it. He's obnoxious with it. And so then some two guys in like kind of like uniform, vague uniform, they'll come in and they say, sir, you're under investigation. If you say, now he answers, okay, me okay. Say, if you say that one more time, we got to take you in. He says it again.
Mm-hmm.
They read him his Miranda rights,
Mm-hmm.
give the right to remain silent, do not say this ever again.
Yep.
And he starts saying, he says, okay. Say, sir, don't do it. Think about what you have to live for. Says, me yo. Please stop right there. We'll cut you a deal or something. Says, okay. Bang, bang, bang. They shoot him 5 times right in the face. And they wipes the sweat. One of them wipes the sweat from their face. Turns to the other. It's never a good day when you have to shoot someone repeatedly in the face. And the other one says, but that's the job. And then it cuts in. The Job, airing weeknights at 9, followed by a new episode of NCIS Dakotas on CBS. So does this play at all? Because clearly I thought it was hilarious. And this is me not in a I was not in an awake state, really. I was kind of asleep and like I was doing it in my head and I was laughing to myself and I said, I gotta write this down. Knowing that this might not play tomorrow. I didn't look at it tomorrow. I just found it tonight. And I gotta ask you, does this play at all?
All right. So I have an idea. At the end, before he says, "Okay, me okay" for the last time, have him working up where he at the end he's like crying, like clearly doesn't want to say "okay, me okay" anymore, and and like it's like a more of like a sorrowful, like we had to do what we had to do, like he wouldn't stop, you know.
He couldn't
He
stop.
couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And like, and before he gets shot, the last thing he does is he takes the gun and puts it to himself. And he says, "Me okay." And
Dude, that's such a good addition. It adds to the emotion of the climax.
just
I actually
sobbing.
think that makes it so much better right at the end, especially like at first he's kind of like, I think like what that also works with is like at first he's kind of like just joking around. He thinks this might actually be like funny. He thinks people might find it funny, but then it like gets really serious. Like his friends turn on him first. Then he's being like detained.
Yes.
He's read his rights. And then he can't stop because he's caught in it. He's in the loop. He can't do it. He can't stop. He's got to go down with the ship. And I think the best part of the joke actually is just the fact that CBS is airing a show called The Job. It's such a CBS nighttime show.
Especially saying it in the trailer.
I don't know. I think there's something there, and I think your addition is good. I'm still not totally convinced that this is that this checks, but there are elements of it that check. That's certainly a lot better than some of my other like dream joke. I have one that like I woke up and I wrote some shit down like think this is the funniest shit. I don't know if I can find it, but it is nonsense. It is such nonsense. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, but it was. I thought it was so funny. And then like I look back the next day like, oh shit, let me like flesh this out a little more. And it's like 3 sentences of nonsense. It's like it's a cooking show and then there's no lemon. But wait, I don't know. I don't remember. I wish I could find it because it really
It's a
is.
cooking show, but there's no
It's,
lemon.
here
Wait,
I found it. Okay.
you
Here
found
it
it?
is. Okay.
Yes.
Food show. Bad looking food. Nordic cream. I have no idea.
What is
Nordic cream?
Nordic cream?
I think maybe it was some sort of dick cream joke. I don't know. Like they're using Nordic.
cream.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Bono. Bono is now inserted into this. Small store. Autograph. Page of script taken seductively. And one take, I memorized my lines. That's it. That's all I've got from that. Literal nonsense. The ramblings of dreamland. And I thought this was so funny. I thought it was so good.
You came directly from the Loopy hours in a little time machine with a funny little hat and a nightgown, and you wrote it down with an ink and quill, and then you went to bed.
I went back saying, really satisfied. I went back to bed. So satisfied with myself.
Oh man, that was a ton of information I was able to just write down right there. Cool.
Oh, I was like, this might be actually a film. Like, I was like, this might not just be a sketch. This might be a film right here.
I'm getting some big energy from this here idea.
When Bono comes in
That's where it
and he
really
says, one take, I
changes.
memorized my lines. Now, I'm not sure if he says that or
That's
someone
what
else
the
says that.
actor does. I don't know.
I don't know if there's,
sure.
if this, is this like a fourth wall breaking multiple times here? What's going on with the small store autograph thing?
Right?
I don't know. It's tough to know. And how does this connect to the food show? Really is really what I want to know.
What is Nordic cream?
Nordic cream.
I'll
Food
never
show?
know.
Like food show, bad looking food. It's like you can see where this kind of could go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Nordic cream. The next line.
And like, is there something like you heard about in a television show or something like Nordic cream?
The only thing I can think of is that I was making a dick joke.
Right?
Nordic cream. Right.
Nordic cream.
That's the only thing that kind of makes sense to me.
Are you sure you weren't thinking of
No.
Nordic Creamery in Westby, Wisconsin?
It's possible this whole thing takes place in Wisconsin.
I like that idea. Nordic cream, huh? I can't.
I don't think it exists. I'm assuming
mean,
it's some sort of cream from Norway in this
Nordic
in this universe.
Nordic cream exists on Amazon. Nordic Care Care cream.
That's got to be it.
2 cares in there. Nordic Care foot care cream.
I mean, we can try and make a joke from this. This could be an exercise here. Like, we can make this make sense, right?
All right, so food show, bad looking
Food show,
food.
bad looking food, right? So let's say there's a host, a Gordon Ramsay type, right?
Mhm.
He goes, he says, "This looks like shit. What did you put in here?" The guy says, "Nordic cream."
sir. And so Gordon Ramsay says, "What the fuck is Nordic cream, you idiot sandwich?" Right? That it's
Yeah.
a spoof on him, sort of thing. And
It's got to be a Gordon Ramsay-ish character.
ish.
Kind of.
Gordon,
I think we have to embrace the dreamlandiness of it, right?
Think-
And make it a surreal
Gordon Ramsay meets Whiplash drum teacher. Where it's like
I like that.
it's fueled. There's a bit of like craziness. He says, "What is Nordic cream, you idiot sandwich?" And the guy responds. He says, "No, Nordic creams, man." Like how does he get? How is that even
I
a
think-
dick joke?
It's barely a dick joke. It's the only way that I could make sense of it, really. I don't know if it is a dick joke. But I can make it in my head. It doesn't have to be the best thing here that we're making.
It's not.
Kind of make it. No, and it won't be. We kind of have to make it something. So I'm comfortable just having the Nordic cream joke being a back and forth of confusion between the
okay.
contestant and the
I like
host.
that. I like that.
Right?
He
He's like
says
Nordic cream.
Nordic. What the fuck
He
is
pronounced it
Nordic?
Nordic cream,
Nordic
right? And then the
cream.
host is like, he like looks to the producer like,
Yeah, breaks. Yeah,
and then Nordic cream, and they kind of clarify it, and that's the joke, is the confusion. I think we could pull it off with some good acting, but the real struggle here, this is going to be the real tough part
it's
of
getting
this
Bono.
exercise. Getting to Bono. How do we get to Bono here?
All right,
Unless
so
Bono's selling this cream. This
well,
could be
I
Bono's
think
like
yes. Okay, that's a
could
good
be his
route.
like line of
The
he would,
questioning.
by the way. He would sell Nordic cream. Like that is such a Bono move, right?
So the questioning keeps going on and on and on, and then eventually he pulls out a bottle of Nordic cream. It has Bono's face on it. It zooms in to Bono's face, zooms out. They're in a small store, and Bono is there writing autographs on Nordic cream
Oh,
bottles.
that's excellent. That's excellent. That's great. So it's like kind of a we're really doing two sketches here, and this
Yes.
is the transition.
Mm-hmm.
Is the bottle of cream that he's now signing autographs in
Mm-hmm.
this small store.
Yep.
The
And it's
last two are
packed.
also right. There's a line of people with their bottles. It's like the grand unveiling of it,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yep.
And
Small store for
it's a
some reason. I don't
small
know
store. It's
why.
packed. It's packed. Yeah.
To the
No, but
gills.
because no, because it's Bono. Like he's trying to make it like exclusive. Like it's from the hills of Norway. You know, he's
Yes.
doing it
It's
in Norway.
Nordique.
Yeah, or maybe he's not doing it in Norway. It doesn't really matter. But he's trying to make it. He's trying to make it exclusive.
I was
So he's
almost
doing it in a
picturing
small
it
store.
like a bodega, just a New York City deli, like filled with people, brimming with people, and it adds to the dreaminess of it. Or it's in like the Nordic like hillsides, you know.
So I'm with you. It's either bodega, like, or like some like deli in L.A., or it's like the Norwegian, some DMV in Norway. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know why I think at the like I'm now being sent back to this moment, and I do get DMV vibes from this place that he was in, this small store. But it was a store, so it can't be, I guess.
No, it could be
But
something in between a DMV and a store. You know, you have
advanced
like
auto
angry
parts.
clerks. There you go.
Whatever the Norwegian equivalent of that is.
It's pronounced advanced auto parts.
Yeah, I'm gonna like for the purposes of this, I'm gonna put it in LA because I think it will help us to finish these last two lines, which are very difficult.
Bring me to
This
the
is
last
this
two
is really where
lines.
the most work I think will happen.
Let's go.
And it was just a flash of brilliance from you getting from Nordic Cream to Bono. And this I think without that we might have worked harder on that, but here we definitely have to work hard. And I think it would be easier to put this in LA for this last two lines here. So first we have page of script taken in parentheses seductive. So this is weird. Is this fourth wall break? Are we
Yeah,
breaking
I
the fourth
think we're
wall of the
breaking the
sketch
fourth
here?
wall. Page of script taken by
Oh,
Bono.
wow!
In the
Bono's in the
commercial.
sketch.
Yes.
Bono's in the
And
sketch.
Bono's filming a commercial.
In this Nordic Cream sketch.
Yes.
Now Bono seductively takes the page of script and says, "One take, I memorized my lines."
Perfect.
This is actually funny. I'm on
made
board
it.
now.
We made it. It makes sense now.
I'm on board. I
like
mean,
it.
it's very surreal. It's very dreamlike. But
We took it
with
there.
that the punchline there really is landing for me. It lands to like for me that having Bono as the actor
One take.
that
I
takes
memorized my
seductively,
lines.
seductively is such a good actor note. Like Bono takes script seductively. One take, I memorized my lines. I like the grammar on that too.
One take. I memorized
Like
my
he's-
lines.
Like he's not American. Well, he's not, but like he's not from an English speaking country.
They speak Celt. They speak Gaelic over there.
But I think they also speak English.
I was joking. No, they mostly speak English, unfortunately. R.I.P. to my kin.
That's funny, dude. I don't hate it honestly now.
Me neither. I love it. I love it. It's perfect. I there's something to like the loopiest of bits, you know. There's nothing like a good like just insane bit that like one that carries on a long time. I had a bit today that happened. I was driving home from seeing my grandma with my mom, right? And we drove through this village or land of some sort called Greymoor. And it's spelt Greymoor, like Moor. And so it looks like every time I pass it, it looks like a Skyrim village name.
There
And
is a vampire living there.
that's what I'm saying. So the whole bit is just, it's just, uh, I am the Lord of Greymoor, and then you're driving down the road, and you're like, in Greymoor there is no advanced auto parts. The kingdom of advanced auto parts is shunned from this area. You know, that type of thing. And I was just going and going. Now I feel like it is like Greymoor is like
You
a
were in a
manor
car,
or
right?
a fortress. Yes, we were driving.
So just to quickly interject real quick, there's nothing like a car riff.
Oh,
A car riff is one of a
the
kind.
inspiration just keeps coming.
Yeah, it's really truly one of the best riffing situations.
That you could ever have, because it's so amazing. You can just go and go, like like with Greymoor, it gives such a vicious image in your head, you know, a vibrant image in your head where
Dude,
it's
if there
like
was like some fog, I don't know if it was foggy today,
it
but
was
like
raining. It was raining in the
raining and
land
fog.
of Greymoor.
I mean, it always is.
In Greymoor, us people, we deal with much rain. You know, there's many a day where it's cloudy and it's raining, and that's why we take our little tobacco pipes and we pack them, or we roll them up into little convenient tubes and smoke them like this. Greymoor, the weather is quite horrid. It's a bit putrid.
I like the idea of it being a Skyrim or Oblivion,
Yes.
like where you go to the market, and you try to talk to the guy who has the fruit stand, and he turns to you like this, like he does the hello.
Hello.
He says
Welcome
something
to
about current
Greymoor.
events happening in Greymoor, and you have really only four things you can elicit him to say. You can talk about the weather, the fruit, the current events, or the vampire, and usually those last two are kind of intertwined.
Here, we'll do a little demonstration. I'll be the NPC. You be the character.
Hello, can I buy some fruits today?
Of course, you can
Wait,
buy some.
I'm
fruit.
not. I don't have a script. I can talk like a normal person. Right? I don't know why I assumed that I was also limited to
Alright,
a.
I'll reset. I'll reset.
Hey, I was wondering if you're open.
Welcome.
Excuse me. I was
am
wondering if
open.
you're open.
I'm open. How are ye?
I'm good. So I'm just gonna look around for a second. I'm thinking I'm gonna get some peaches. How much are the peaches?
The peaches are 3 septum, but look out for the vampire. He loves the taste of peaches.
Wait a second. I mean, I'm burying the lead here, but what's a septum?
The vampire lord of Greymoor. Oh wait, a septum is a gold piece of coin used to buy things here in Greymoor.
I don't think. I feel like you don't have an answer to that. You just repeat it. Like I don't think you can explain to me what a septum
All right,
is.
run it back. I'm ready for this time.
Excuse me, but what's a septum?
50 cents, but look out for the vampire Lord of Greymoor. He loves the taste of peaches.
Okay, I'll bite. What are you talking about, vampire?
Deep in the darkest dwellings of Greymoor, there is a cave where you should find yourself in a bad, bad time if you're there. And if you're there, when you get there, it's a difficult, difficult road, but there might be treasure at the end, and defeat, maybe, for you, 'cause you look a bit scrawny. Watch out for the vampire Lord of Greymoor, but keep it on the hush.
Bro, do you want to go? You want to go? You say, I'm looking scrawny, bro. You know what's looking scrawny? Your produce section, bro. You have apples, peaches, and grapes.
Farming in
Was
the
that
lands.
all you sell here?
It rains a lot in Greymoor. It's hard.
I understand that. I can feel it. Why are you making it sound like I should go to this vampire lair? You set it up as if it's so dangerous, and then you entice me with treasure?
The vampire lair is deep in the dwellings of Greymoor, in the caves. If you find yourself there in a bad time, it will be a bad time for you, because you're looking a bit scrawny.
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right. Okay. Let's say I did want to go and find this vampire. Where would I find him?
Try west of Greymoor. Outland of there is a boat where it will take you to a dock, and the dock will bring you to a horse stable, where you find the horse stable's keeper. The horse stable's keeper will bring you to a trailer, no, a tractor, no, what is it called? A wagon, and you will go on the wagon, and it will take you up a path, and the path leads to a house. But in the house there's a teleporter chest, and the chest will bring you to a place where you can find Greymoor.
Okay, dude.
Not Greymoor, but
I'm just gonna steal one of these peaches. I'm gonna grab one of these.
Get
peaches
out of
and
my
walk
shop.
Away.
I'm closed.
I'm not doing business with you.
I'm closed. Get out of my home.
Well, I'm taking some to go.
Hey, thief. He stole it. Thief. 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 He stole it.
Oh,
hey,
shut
get back
up. There's
here.
no one here, dude.
There's like 800
It is
people
just me.
instantly swarm and start just hacking you.
It's like, this dude has no uniform. Who is this guy, and why is he using a mace? I'm out of here.
He's the blacksmith.
Well,
Oh,
shit,
look out
man.
for
At
old
this point-
Fireforge. He's known well in Greymoor for pain.
I was trying to get you to hit me with a thief, and I can't say you're disappointed. That shit is so funny. That was really well done, I gotta say.
Thank you.
You nailed the turn. The turn is really the most important part. You have to robotically. Much rain in Greymoor.
Oh, bro. Oh, man. I'm so happy that I was able to revive the bit, because at first I was struggling. I was like, what exactly did I say? And then I realized, I was like, no, I have to take Greymoor to the place in my head.
Well, I think what happens is sometimes we try and go and relive the bit we had done earlier, but I think that is folly. Really, you need to continue the bit.
So true.
I find myself trying to like explain why something was so funny.
Yep.
But really, you need to make it funny again. I think that's
So true.
I think it's something that I'm reminded of that when I'm trying to explain why like this one-off like irreverent one-liner is just not hitting. Why is it not hitting again? Like,
Why do they
but you
not
can make it hit
understand
again.
Okay, me okay?
Well, okay, be okay. I don't expect anyone to understand.
That's kind of the
But if we
Loopy
made-
Hours catchphrase, ain't it? Like, we can merchandise okay, me okay.
Okay,
Me
me okay. I think at first he's shooting like finger guns after he says it. Like,
Yep. He's like into it at first, and then as with
Oh,
anything, it
he's
falls
thinking
off.
it's so funny.
I love
Honestly, if
that.
we want to give it some backstory, I think maybe he says it once and it lands, like at a party, like the night before.
Yep.
He says it, and for some reason, it just hits because it's in the moment, and it just hits, and like you have like the whole crowd laughing at it,
Yep.
and he goes home and he's like, and then he goes to work the next day or wherever he is in that scene, and that's why he just can't stop trying. He needs to get that laugh again.
That rush.
He needs to feel it. He needs to feel again.
I like that.
Okay, me okay. I love the putting the gun. I think he puts it right to his forehead.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
And then the agents, they shoot him 5 times in the head. I specified it in the notes. They have to shoot him 5 times.
Well, because it's referenced in the title
Yeah.
scene, the title
Yeah,
sentence,
yeah.
which is you say, I hate having to shoot somebody
Like,
5 times in the head, but he made me
it's
do
like
it.
it's never a good day. Yeah, it's never a good day when you have to shoot someone repeatedly in the face. That's it. I guess it doesn't have to be 5 times. Whatever is, we can workshop it to see what is comically the best number. But definitely, like, it has
Like
to be too much.
numerous. It would be really
It's
funny
never
if
a good
it
day
would
when
be,
you have to shoot someone.
it would be really funny if it was like way too many times. And
Yeah, it
just
keeps
like,
going.
kept going.
And this sweat is pouring down the agent's face too.
And it's like it's not showing like at many of the gunshots after like 1 or 2 or whatever, but it's focusing on the agent.
Yeah, and it's like panning over to the other agent, and he's also just drenched in sweat.
Sweating. It's like it like hypes up. It's like it's a really like anime almost style, very intense.
Yeah. It's never a good day when you have to shoot someone repeatedly in the face. But that's the job. The Job, airing weeknights at 9 on CBS. Followed by a new episode of NCIS Dakota. I love the idea that they just keep making NCISs. Yeah, they don't even pick a state anymore.
For Dakota.
Yeah, because there's not enough going on in either Dakota to just make it one. They just make it Dakotas. And they've covered almost all the other states.
Oh, that's amazing. I know. I want to see like an NCIS Montana, where it's just like, oh yeah, brother, we had to stop
it's coming.
We had to
Don't
stop
worry,
a militia.
dude. Don't fear.
Another militia broke out again, Chief. Oh, Sarge, how are we gonna stop these fools? They want to be cops, but not cops. I don't quite understand it. Well, it's probably some of them Antifa. We'll get down there and
And
stop them.
There's like some of the cops like agree with them and are low key backing them, but it's like then like the head cop is like, "But we have to observe the law. What does it say on our motto?" But the funny thing is, it's the Navy. I just love the idea of the Navy being in Montana or the Dakotas. Like
NCIS.
I mean, but you know what? That's what they do already. Like what the Navy, there can't be enough going on in the Navy Criminal Investigative Service to make 200 episodes per show. That's like 8 spin-offs at this
Wait,
point.
so NCIS is naval? For real, for real?
Yeah, it's Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
I never knew that.
That's
And
what makes
there's
it
so
so
many
crazy.
of them.
It's so many. Dude, you'll never understand how many Marines are getting murdered. Like, we're not talking about in war either. We're talking about just homicides. There's a new case every week, dude.
Oh no, I know it keeps going. I used to watch that show Criminal Minds. It like they have.
Bro, don't
the
get me
problem-
started on Criminal Minds.
You didn't like it? Don't like it? What do you like it?
Said, don't get me started because
Did
I
you-
can go.
Did you
on
like it?
Criminal Minds. Okay, I'll tell you this. The first season is definitely watchable. And there's one episode in the first season that to me is one of the funnier episodes of primetime American television of all time. It's this episode where they are called to collaborate with the CIA, and then someone in the room, like they're on lockdown in the CIA, and someone just gets murdered in the CIA in the room. Like, and it's just one of the best, like one of the funniest, like just honestly, you have to watch it to understand why it's so funny. But they do a great job of making the CIA out to be completely corrupt and evil, and I do fuck with that.
That's cool.
And it's really just a comedy episode.
That's
Not to
that's
say that
fun.
like the first season is good, because that show was never really good,
It's
but
like
it had some comedic value, and that episode is really the pinnacle of it. It's not a good show, but that first season was certainly a worthwhile entry into the primetime crime serial, you know?
totally.
But
I
then,
I
and
watched it as a kid, like probably like as like a teenager or whatever. I really fucked with it then. It was cool. But like I feel like you were saying like but then
but then what happens is somewhere in from the first season to the second season, and there were signs in the first season too, it became basically like gore porn in a way, where they really were not focusing on writing or on story or even on like capitalizing on like real fear of these murderers. They were real. I'll tell you, there is a scene when I can pinpoint that I saw it, like it was just on TV, and I just saw it like and I watched when I was like the same age, you know, as you probably. Like
hmm,
I watched a good. It was on all the time, and
yep.
I didn't hate it either. But I saw this scene that I'd seen before, and I had already kind of come to this opinion in my later life, like looking back, that like the show like kind of like glorifies this like the
Totally.
violence of it. And but there's this scene, I think it's in the second season, that there's a some serial killer arsonist starts a fire in a family's home. And so, like, yeah, okay, you show the guy pouring the gasoline, lighting the match in the house going up. Like, that's a solid, like, cold open
Hmm.
to a serial killer crime serial.
Yep.
But they are, like, on that scene for, like, 2.5 minutes. And, like, they're showing the family, like, crying and burning and, like, crawling to the door, burning alive, like, for way too long.
That's
And like, it is
crazy.
so unsettling, just like that there is a director there. Stay on that, stay,
Keep
yeah.
it going. Keep it
And he's
going.
like telling the sound guy, can we get more children screaming?
Screaming.
Like,
Bring it
it's
up.
just so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it more louder and make it sound like they're burning alive.
Can you
Like,
hear the
and
crisp,
like,
fresh crinkle of their
no,
burning
seriously,
flesh?
like that was what they were spending their effort on, because the rest of the show sucked.
Yeah.
Because like any like witty dialogue or comedic element was gone, I think, very early on. I do, if anyone wants to like go down this rabbit hole, I do urge you to find this episode. I'll find it before this episode ends. That I'll find what episode I'm talking about. The CIA criminal. It's just such a. It's like the best kind of version of this American primetime crime serial of like what it just everything worked out, that it is genuinely and perhaps unintentionally hilarious, but it is so funny. But like then it got so bad. And you know Mandy Patinkin, right?
Yep.
Which was like their star of the show. He
Yes.
left the show after the second season, and he said he left because he thought it would be cool to like hit this profiling element and like get into the psychology of criminals and of these criminals, of like murders and whatever, but that it became the wrong thing, where it was like kind of glorifying the violence
Yeah.
and the gore of it, which is so true. And they basically ruined their show because he was one of the reasons it was good.
Oh yeah. He was very good
And
in that
the
show.
thing is this, it was a very successful show anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean it kind of like it kind of it got their demographic, right? It got like the female, the women, like middle-aged women
Yeah,
demographic of like true crime type. And it also was just on all the time, so us as kids watched it,
yep,
right? So like it worked, but
totally.
it really could have been a real show and it ended up just being a trash. Like it
Yeah.
was just trash
And
at
that's
the
the
end of the
thing
day.
about a lot of those types of shows from that era. I feel like they have this problem where they constantly needed to amp up to feel like it was going anywhere instead of writing a plot that had like overtones and like actual things going on. There was one arc where the main investigator, his wife got taken by someone. And that I remember being a very, very cool arc. And I feel like it's that type of stuff that they don't do as much as the cold opens with the burning bodies. And like, that's also, they got struck by a problem of having to like amplify like each episode's entrance with the cold open thing. Like they would always
But
like
also that
open
shit,
on
I
some
can't
shit like that.
believe that shit was exposed to us so young because really some of the stuff that's on that show is so different from like even like CSI and
Oh yeah.
NCIS where like there was some real like disturbing scenes
Mm-hmm.
in that show and that's like and I know that it's
Totally.
like it's not such a big deal or anything, but like they really glorified it in a way that I don't think most shows did. That like really they knew that a lot of their audience was it was working for them, and I don't want to go after. I said middle-aged women, and I don't want. I'm not trying to go after that. And like I will say like like the true crime audience is like women. Like it's got to be like
But it's like
80% women.
but it's
There's
also
nothing wrong
global
with that.
now. You know, it's not
Yeah, no,
like
no, for sure. And look,
it's
I'll even dip in sometimes, but it was built on the backs of women like and I get it. I know why that stuff is good. Shit, I'll watch Forensic Files every now and then. I love the opening song and I love the narrator's voice and it's interesting and I really enjoyed Making a Murderer and all that. So I'm not trying to go after them, but I think what they did is they kind of so it's they took true crime and they fictionalized it, right?
with
And
Criminal
it's
Minds.
different when you're right but it's different when you're like make like when that's like the main thing that you're going for is like making this as disturbing as possible instead of making this story
Yes.
interesting story. And
And
I think that like look, if nothing else, it's just a guilty pleasure show, but I now later in life am just like that show is a fake show. Like it's not a real like after a certain point it was just a fake show to me like where
it
it's
was a
just like
bit of a like is that how is this still going? It's like seven seasons long or something. I feel like it suffers from a similar problem that a lot of true crime podcasts suffer from, where they become like so insufferably like focused on the killers and romanticize them and romanticize the murders instead of actually talking about like the victims and how people were affected by it. And like I feel like that's what that type of show lacks, is like the foresight to see that like you're just making, to a certain extent, like you said, gore porn, you know.
yeah, you do have to ask like are you drawing this out too much, right? Or are you focusing on the wrong things? Are you really like you should focus equal if not more on the victim side of it and like not like to me like I haven't seen it but they have this documentary now on Netflix of Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like, dude, like what are we doing? Like we done this already.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Right.
know. To me, it's just it's a lot. It's like we've made this into a cash cow. We've made murder, serial murder, into a cash cow. It doesn't sit totally right with me. But again, I really want to say like you watch what you watch, enjoy what you enjoy. It's not a big deal.
Totally.
This is just my opinion.
And I want to push
Like
back
that's really
a little bit just about like I do think that true crime now is like probably like 60-40. It's probably not that much of a discrepancy,
Yeah, I
but
don't. I didn't mean to
80%
go
was high.
after
I just
half of our. Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just saying, if you looked at the Criminal Minds demographic,
Oh, the
right,
Criminal Minds specifically, that was made
it's
for
gonna
moms, you know.
right. So that's the thing. Like, but it could have been better.
Oh
It
yeah,
could have been
could have been
better.
so good, bro. It's a shame because Mandy Patinkin and there's another actor there that's very good, and it's like they have a good cast. They just made like a very pulpy crime drama, and hey, it had its place. But I do agree with you on the new Jeffrey Dahmer thing. It's like, what are we doing here, folks? Like, at least find a different murderer to
This is not
romanticize.
the
Jesus
Yankees winning the
Christ.
World Series, right? This is not like this is not a Aaron Judge breaking the home run record that you have
Like,
to like now you're gonna like cash in, like make documentaries and shit and all this merch. Like we shouldn't be doing that with serial murderers to the extent because we already did it with him. Like we don't need to bring it up and do it again. Like I know that it's interesting, but I think that the way that it's covered is and I haven't seen it, so maybe it's done well. But just the coverage that I've seen of these cases is it feels so dirty, man. It feels
feels pretty
it
icky.
it doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
and like watching it doesn't sit right, and that doesn't it's not a blanket thing that I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's definitely a trend that I've seen. It's not everything. It's just a lot of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's like a lot of it. That was the problem to me with Criminal Minds because it wasn't just a pulpy show. It was, in fact, like it was kind of like it decided that it's that like I don't know if there was focus groups or if they just from the creative side of it said this is like something we should really do because they like I don't feel like they did that at the beginning, but they decided we're gonna like really go all in with the disturbing elements of
Yeah.
this.
They really brought the disturbing level up, and like just like full sent it in a way that wasn't artful. Really, it was just like crazy. You know, I've watched a couple of films recently that were like that. Uh, there's this one movie, Mother, by Darren Aronofsky. That movie, have you ever seen it?
No,
Jesus
I have not seen it.
Christ.
I haven't seen anything. I don't think that he has done. I've been recommended it at times, but generally I'm not like a big horror guy. So I've
Yeah,
got such a long list of shit that I need to watch that it's gonna come in lower
yeah.
than other like types of movies that I more am drawn to normally. And that's not to say that I wouldn't like it, but just I haven't got to it yet because shit, there's so many. I have a list and it's probably at like 200 at this point of like movies that I want to watch tonight.
Yeah, for real. And it's like it's Arnofsky's like a psychological thriller type of dude a lot of the times. And so some of them are horror, some of them are more like psychological and just like strange, just bizarre. He's a good director though. I fuck with his stuff. He just Mother is an example of a director that gets so good that they can make whatever they want, and they almost like and they do, and it's their opus. It's like that he's almost like fucking with the audience in a way, because they're like an artist gets so good to that point where they're kind of fucking with people. It's good. I
Right, and
like
he's
it.
like an auteur type director
Yes,
where he's like really in control of the whole thing.
it seems
Yeah, I've
like
been
it.
recommended it highly by a lot of people. It's just again like something that's not going to rank like it's not going to get watched right away just cuz there's too much that I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Godfather Part 2. Like
Yeah,
that's crazy to me that I still haven't seen that. But that's just where it's at for me that there is so much there are more pressing things than Darren Aronofsky, and maybe like
totally.
he could change that with one movie that I watch, right?
Yep.
that now the other ones jump higher. But as of right now, that it's been recommended to me and I still haven't seen it, like so many others.
Totally.
It's tough,
That's
man.
like, like I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't, it's you miss
That's even
some,
tougher. A
you know.
TV series. Well, but there's always ones you know you're gonna get to, right?
Right? Thank you. That's how I do it.
Like
I love getting to
there's
some
like kind
TV
of two
shows
lists,
or
right? There's
movies.
like yeah, I think that it's like it's two lists, two different lists. One it's like stuff I know I'm gonna get to, I just don't know when. And then there's like maybe I'll watch this.
Mhm.
That's kind of like the way I kind of separate, and sometimes I'm more down to watch something that I is on the maybe I will or won't, because it's almost more exciting to like sometimes it's fun to hate a movie.
Oh yeah.
Like some of those don't hit,
Oh yeah.
but
Bro, I love to put on something where you hate it and you love it and it's a complicated relationship. Like I told you about that show Skinwalker Ranch.
dude, I need to check it out just for the
Bro,
name.
it's so good and so hateable. It's so amazing though. It's amazing cuz these people take it so seriously everything that goes on. And they always attach Native Americans to UFOs, which I just find so ignorant is so funny
Yeah, it
cuz
doesn't feel like I don't know
there's
how they do
no
it, but it doesn't feel.
how
Yeah,
did you get
I don't
there?
know. Doesn't feel totally okay, but like I haven't seen it, so I can't
Oh
really
my
judge it.
god. It's clearly a group of delusional white men with no person to say no, and it's led by this one person. He's like a millionaire, whatever. He has helicopters and stuff and owns it, and he owns it for the sole purpose of doing an investigation there about the paranormal activity on the ranch.
Okay, I have to check
Bro,
this out. This is insane.
it's so
This is such a
crazy.
rabbit hole. It feels like I'm gonna watch at least one episode before the next show we
Cool.
do. Before
Cool.
at least before the next Loopy
Loopy
hour.
hours. Yep. By
I'll
then I'll
I
probably
will
have
give you
finished
my
it.
I'll give you my take of the
Fuck
first
yeah.
two episodes.
Cool. They're 40 minutes
We can do a
long.
little.
There's like 8 episodes or whatever. It's it's solid. We'll do a breakdown.
The way you have put like described this has hyped it up for me so much, and I don't feel like I'm gonna like it, but I
You're
feel like
gonna
I'm gonna
love
do
it.
endless research about it.
You're gonna love
Like
it, bro.
I'll love it, right? But I won't love the show. I'll love this show, right? The
Yes.
show, what the show is,
What the show means.
and then I might end up loving it too.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
because
bro.
it can get there.
It's so funny. It's like watching The Office, but like in real life. It's but like with a bunch of paranormal investigators and
Right. It's like
scientists.
with the backstory that it's like made by this dude who is into this.
And
It's
they
not some
call
outside
him
camera crew
no
coming into paranormal people. It is run by the paranormal. I love
bro,
it, dude.
there's a security
I'm
guard
in.
named Dragon.
Oh,
Bro.
come on, dude.
Bro, and he carries around a shotgun. He's
I'm in.
armed. He has
I
guns,
couldn't be more in at this
multiple.
point. Well, I
Bro.
mean, where is this?
Oh, Montana.
Where's this take place? Yeah, it'd be
Montana or
weird if he
something.
didn't have a
No,
gun.
Utah.
Utah, still, it
Yeah.
would be weird if he didn't have a gun. In fact, you could name probably 35 out of the 50 states where it'd be weird if the security guard named Dragon
Wait,
didn't have a
wait.
gun.
Why don't we hit a state by state check? All right. Alaska.
Well, it's easier to go
Pick
by
out
if it
which
would be
ones
weird.
would. Okay. All right, let's go.
Because
I'm
I
gonna pull up a
think
list of
I
states.
think there's way less where it's a security guard named Dragon and he doesn't have a gun, and it's not weird. Where which states would a security guard named Dragon not be expected to have a gun?
All right, let's pull up a list.
I think it might just be a handful, dude.
Hit me with some of yours.
New York, California, easy money,
You
right?
think you don't,
Dragon doesn't have a gun in New York. No way.
bro?
Unless he's upstate New York.
Upstate. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
Upstate
yeah,
is the
that's true.
boonies, bro. You know,
Shit.
that's
Well, I
for
mean,
real.
fucking upstate California, Northern California too, bro. They got guns.
Definitely,
I mean,
definitely. All
so
right.
every state, bro.
So
If we're talking rural areas in every state, you're gonna have a shotgun on a guy named Dragon, who's a security guard. Are you kidding me?
literally,
I don't think there
there's
is a
not.
list.
Yeah, no, there is no. There's no one. Wait,
There's no
Connecticut?
list.
Connecticut?
He got a gun, dude.
He's
Come
got a
on,
gun.
Connecticut is
New
wild, bro.
Jersey.
Absolutely has a gun.
All
It
right.
might be some
Hawaii.
weird. Hawaii's got a gun.
um.
I don't think he would. Look, Hawaii's actually not bad for like a wild card, maybe the one, but he does have a
He
gun.
has a
His name is
gun.
Dragon. Come on, dude.
Yeah, there's no state here.
There's no place.
I
There's no
mean,
place.
the mega
If we're
the
talking,
mega answer is Florida. Florida, it definitely Dragon has multiple guns and a pet
dude, he's got
Komodo.
guns and nunchucks. By the way, I gotta say, I was just at this bar. The bouncer had nunchucks. And I'm just
Bro,
gonna I'm gonna personally tell to him, listen, dude, you look whack. If a fight breaks out, you're gonna pull out the nunchucks, and you're gonna think that's cool.
now
And
how did
also,
he have them? For context, did he have like a
in
carrying
his
case
belt,
in his
in his belt,
belt?
like you could tell there were nunchucks poking out of his belt.
Hmm.
No, it's so
That
not a
doesn't
look.
check. That doesn't check. No.
It doesn't check at all, and also like it's bad enough the look when you pull them out during a fight. But I'll tell you what, it's so much worse of a look that you think it's cool to be having
showing
them
'em.
just with everything's cool,
Yeah.
like showing as if that's like intimidating.
Yeah, I
And
would
like
respect it more if he pulled it out of his jacket mid-fight.
it
No
was
one
hidden.
knew.
But here's the thing: a guy like that who's comfortable with himself, not so insecure that he needs to show it, he's not carrying nunchucks.
Hey, and
He's
if
carrying
he is,
something
they're
else.
cool. You know,
It would be cool if he pulled out the nunchucks
the
out of
secret
nowhere.
nunchuck
And you
compartment
know what? It would shut down the fight. By the way, here's really where he goes wrong.
shows it.
No one's
Shows
not
his
starting
hand.
a fight because you have nunchucks,
That's
right?
true. It's not like a gun or a knife or something. I
It's
don't know
not.
if you have a
It's
knife,
just
that
not
doesn't really
scary
work like
enough.
that.
Well, if you have like a
Yeah,
machete,
yeah, there
like
you go.
a holstered
blade.
machete, I don't think you're starting a fight around that guy. But like those were not scaring anybody, right? But if you had them concealed and you whipped them out like a crazy person and just
That's
started
sick.
like
Doing
just
the
waving
thing.
them around,
Doing
the fight
thing.
would stop immediately.
Bro, that shit is fire. You know what? Wait here. Don't go anywhere.
Okay. You know what? I never like following orders. I'm out of here.
Now I feel obligated as as someone who you know, I have to tell you something, Jacob.
Yeah, what do you got? Nice.
Well,
Yeah, but you don't carry them.
Oh no, of course
I think
not.
they check.
These
Oh,
are
nunchucks,
sick.
totally cool.
These are so cool. Sorry for everybody listening. This probably
No, so
fucking
I don't
sucks.
want anyone to get confused. I'm not talking shit about nunchucks, really. It's more if you're like carrying them open, like non-concealed nunchucks are not. They don't play.
But
In
like,
my
if I
opinion.
had it on my belt loop, it's like, come on, bro. What are you doing?
In the inside, maybe like with your shirt covering it, I'm
Oh,
fine with that.
definitely. But he had him
Because
hanging
honestly,
loose.
if a fight, he's clearly an intimidation. I think this dude is just like he's not secure enough in himself. He needs these. He also had this big hat, and like he was kind of being an asshole. Like he was just kind of like one of those guys, you know,
Yep.
a little bit insecure.
Yep. No, that
I hate an insecure bouncer.
insecure nunchuck carrying bouncer. I
I
will
don't like
admit
it.
it's sick to own them. Don't carry them. You don't need to carry them.
Right. Right. And you know what? If you're like going to a rager of a party and you keep them in your pants till like the peak of the party and you want to rip them out and like do some type of move with them,
And do a backflip
I mean,
maybe
it's kind of a bad idea, but I'm just gonna say if you think you can pull it off
in a
without
crowded
hitting someone in
room,
the
you
head,
know,
if you can pull it off, it will
on the
play.
dance
The
floor.
crowd will react positively, I think. But if you come to that party with them sticking out of your belt, people are just gonna say this dude's a douche. Like this is a douche from the second you step in there, you're a douche
Oh yeah.
in everyone's eyes. Don't do it.
And unless you have some sort of like real cool trick to show everybody, and like we said, bring it in secret, you know, pop it out. The suspense is gone, the thrill is gone when you show off those chucks, bro.
Exactly. It's like if you pull up with them showing, we know you're gonna do some routine at some point.
Oh yeah. We
You know
expect
you
it.
are. We know you are waiting for the moment someone spills a beer on
It's
someone,
like if someone
and they say,
go ahead.
"What the fuck are you doing?" And it's like, do not fight. It's like not even close to being a fight at all, but still, It's like we knew that was coming
It's
because you've had them showing.
If someone is carrying a yo-yo case filled with yo-yos, it's like, bro, I know you're good at yo-yoing, you know? Like I
Multiple
get it,
yo-yos.
you know? My brother, he's 31 or 32 now, and you know, he was a
Case full
yo-yo
of
kid
yo-yos.
back in the day. That's the 2090s.
Yeah, no, but you're
man.
right. You're right. To pull out the yo-yo
In secret.
out of nowhere
Yeah,
and
that's
do a
cool.
trick could play, right? But you don't want to.
Be walking
I'll
the
give you
dog
one.
the whole time.
I'll give you
know?
the most simple example of what we're talking
Break
about.
it down. Break it down.
If you're at a party, maybe you're playing some beer pong, maybe you just like really are getting rowdy for the like everyone's getting rowdy and the music's bumping and everyone's feeling it and you rip your shirt off, that can play. But if you come to the party with no shirt on, it's not really gonna play.
It's true.
And I think that is just the most simplified example of what we're talking
That's
about.
so true.
You
That's
gotta
so
keep
true.
something in the chamber.
Wow. It's beautiful. That was artwork right there.
You can't just be showing all your cards
That's a
from
phenomenal
when you get there.
phenomenal
first arrive.
analogy.
This has been the Loopy Hour.
This has been the Loopy Hour with JT, the
Stay
ball.
loopy, my friend.
Stay loopy. Stay lugubrious, bro.
Gotta stay a little
bit.
lugubrious.
Just a little bit.
But most importantly,
tabletop response.
tabletop responsibility.